In the Employees section of your When to Work Manager login, you'll find that there are several tabs for managing your employees' information. Most of their basic information is listed on the Employee List grid. Note that this grid is sortable. You can click on any header to sort by that field. You can choose which columns are visible by simply clicking the Select Columns link. Choose the columns that you'd like to see and click Save. You can edit these values right on the grid. Simply click on a cell, enter the correct data, and you'll see that the cell remains orange until you finish. The orange highlights reminds you that the information you've entered hasn't been saved yet, so when you're ready, click the Save Changes button. And the system is updated with the new information. You can click the magnifying glass icon beside any employee's name to see their employee profile. On the Info tab, you'll see all of their basic information. On the Schedule's Preferences tab, you can see their schedule and work time preferences for the week, or their monthly schedule, as well as their recent trade history. This brings up all of this employee's recent trade activity. You can also see their recent shift change notifications, which have been sent to that employee. On the Time Off tab, you'll see a summary of that employee's time off. To edit employee information, simply click the pencil icon beside any employee's name. Here, you can see their username, email them sign-in instructions, or even reset their password and print a hard copy of the instructions with username and password. You can edit the positions that they can work. And you can enter optional contact information such as phone numbers and address. If you're at all concerned about putting private information into the When to Work system, keep in mind that none of these fields are required. They're simply here for your convenience. Note that you can also go to your Settings, Company Info page, and choose to not allow employees to edit their own email and phone numbers. Then, if you choose not to enter contact information, employees will be prevented from adding and editing their own address and phones. This way, you'll know that private information is not entered into your account. Now, of course, if employees set up their own text notifications, they can enter their text address into the system. Or if they want email notifications, they'll enter their email address. But beyond that, you can choose not to store sensitive information in your account. In fact, we don't even require full names. You could simply use initials if you prefer. One other company setting you might find useful is the employee status icons. You can choose to show these icons in your account. And on the company settings page, you can set up a key for those icon labels. You can set up your own color key so that managers know what each of the 5 colors mean in your account. When you come back to the employees list, you'll see that the column is not titled, but there is actually a field for employee status icons, and you can go in and set each employee to the appropriate status. You can also set these, of course, on the Edit Employee page. Then you can sort your view by the status icons. And you can also filter it by status icon. You'll also see this filter on your schedule views, so that you can see the schedule for just a certain group of employees. If we come back to the Employees List section, you'll see that we have the tab for the employee list and several others. The Positions tab allows you to monitor and set which employees are allowed to work which positions. You can make your edits right here and click the button to save changes. You can also edit the position names themselves using the pencil icon. The next tab is Notifications. Here, you see all of your employees who have email addresses added. And then you have checkboxes for which notifications they're currently set up to receive to that email. You can click to add more notifications to your employees. But keep in mind that employees can always unsubscribe from any notification. If you click to Show Employees with No Emails, you'll see those employees who do not have a regular email added and therefore do not receive email notifications. The next tab is Pay Rates. You can enter one default pay rate per employee. Or if employees make different rates for doing different jobs, you can enter special pay rates for certain positions. If you have not entered a special per position pay rate, the system will use the default pay rate when making any calculations. The next tab is Alert Dates. If your employees have special certifications, for instance, if a delivery driver has to keep a special delivery license active, you can enter the date on which that certification is going to expire. When that day comes, if the employee is scheduled, we'll alert you by highlighting their name in red, so that you'll recognize that they are scheduled past their certification date. Finally, the last tab is for Deleted Employees. These are employees you no longer need to schedule. When you delete an employee, their username and password are immediately deactivated. Their name will still remain on their old scheduled shifts in our system. You will see their name displayed with the word deleted afterwards, so that you can see when they were scheduled. But when deleted, they will be instantly unassigned from all future shifts. At any time, you can come to this list and restore a deleted employee. This will create a new login for them and add them back into your employees list and count. Or you can just view their employee data or review their past scheduled shifts. When you click the schedule icon, the system will pull up a complete list of all their past scheduled shifts in our system. In that search window, you can check off some or all the shifts and click to Export to Clipboard so that you can paste them into another software program.